Hello everyone, welcome back to Player Swarm. Today's video is going to be about specialty ants and legacies that you equip to them. So first things first, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here we go. Let's talk about the two different types of specialty ants that there are. The first are the war ants, these guys right here. Now, these ants are going to be mainly for battling and used in the arena. Now they're going to fall into one of the categories of haste, ranged, or melee. This will come into play a lot as you play the game as a lower level player, but once you start hitting, I'd say probably queen level 22 to 26, that's when you might want to start thinking about a main specialty that you want to focus on. I'd say up until now, you want to basically kind of spread yourself evenly, leveling up all of your stats for now relatively evenly until you get up to level 20. The reason why level 20 is because that is when you're actually going to unlock the legacy. Now when you unlock the legacy, you also have to have the evolution cave up to level 20 as well in order to unlock them. And level 25 is when you get totems, and that will greatly help increase your stats as well, your attack, defense, HP stats, things like that. And level 26 is when you get T9 troops. So right around the level 25 or 26, that's when I would really start possibly focusing in on a particular specialty that you want to focus on, whether that being a haste player, a melee player, or a ranged player. So the war ants, we're going to look at, just one of these. So over here in the bottom left, you have a maximum army scale. So when this ant is deployed in a formation, you are going to get this boost on top of your basic ant march as well. So you're going to get 8,300 for this one, another 4,500 for that, and another 4,500 for that ant. And that's going to accumulate over all 5 ants that you have deployed. Now, one of the things that you have to also understand is you have two different things about every specialty ant. You have an upgrade and a evolve. The upgrade is done with honeydew, and it also is dependent upon queen level. The higher your queen level is, the higher the maximum capacity for that ant to be upgraded to. So right now, because I am not a queen level 15 yet, I cannot boost this ant to the full max level. I could be able to if I was. Right now it's capped at level 90, and I have plenty of honeydew to keep it going, but I have to increase my queen level. One of the reasons why you want to keep boosting this up is because your maximum army scale is going to keep getting stronger, and your combat power is going to get stronger as well. Now evolution is what requires the specialty ant shards. So for this fire ant, you will need fire ant shards, or you're going to need these, the mythic specialized omni shards that you can turn into whatever particular type of ant you're trying to upgrade. Now the caveat with that is once you get later on in the game and you're trying to get, let's say, a divine ant, like one of these 6 right here. And as we all know, I like to color code things, but the blue ants are rare ants, the purples are epics, and the gold are mythic, and the red ants are divine. I like to just use colors. It's simpler for me, and it's sometimes easier for other people to understand as well. So with that being said, when you're upgrading some of these divine ants, and you may not always have the shards for the specific ant that you're trying to level up, those omni shards that I was just talking about, these right here, it would take 2 of them to get 1 of the divine shards. So that's where there's a slight caveat to that. I wouldn't as a new player, I wouldn't just use them willy-nilly. I would save them until you got one of those divine ants, and then proceed to level up and evolve that divine ant first, or the red ant first. So the reason why is those are probably going to give you the most bang for your buck as a beginning player. Like I said, up until those queen levels, 20, 25, 26, when you start being able to focus more on what kind of player you want to be. And by the time you get to level 22 to 26, you should have enough specialty ants unlocked to be able to, at that point, pick a focus. Or maybe you've played enough now to where you're going to be able to see, okay, there may be a lot of haste players, or there may be a lot of range players that I'm going up against, or likewise with melee, and I want to be in a specialty that's going to best suit my ability to combat those people. Now, some of the biggest people in the game don't just focus on one particular specialty. They level all of them up, and then whichever specialty they're going into, they heavily focus on that, and that'll be far greater than all the rest. The reason why is because you also need to be able to attack other specialty ant players that are different from you. So if you're a haste player and you're going to try to attack a ranged player, you are going to take far more damage on your haste. But if you had your melee leveled up a little bit more, you may be able to attack with melee and take less damage and yet reap the same reward as you would with your haste. Now again, that's going to come in heavily more into play when you get into those later levels and you start dealing a lot more damage. The other type of ant that there is are civil ants, the civil specialized ants. And the biggest difference between these two ants are the war ants are what you're going to be using for all of your marches when you're attacking predators, predator nest, players, and mainly in arena. While yes, there are some times in some weeks that you are going to be using civilized ants or civil ants in your arena matches, those don't come around all that often. Now with all of these ants, they all have their upgrade level and their upgrade level and their evolution level. So going in here again, it's going to be the same. You're going to need the honeydew and the queen level to get these ants up to their highest capability. They have two different sets of skills. They have basically your deployed skills when you're in a march, and then they have their passive skills, for your civil ants, the passive skills, and then for your army ants, these will be mainly used in arena. So let's go down here to your civil ants. Now when you're beginning, you may not see that, hey, I've gotten 2 of these purple ants, but they're not in my battle formations. Well, that's because they're not deployable ants in a march. They're better suited for the back end boosts that you get. Now, like I said, they're used in 2 different ways. The not so common way, like I said, are in the arena matches. So it is important to have these ants upgraded and evolved as well, because when those arena matches do come around, you're going to want to be able to be strong and take on other players that have also leveled up and evolved their ants as well. So it's important to level these ants up and not just let them sit while you're waiting for maybe your war ants to get stronger. The other way that these are mainly used is passively. They have stat boosts on them that engage in a passive way. So when we click on one, we can see that it's a civil ant and it has a passive skill. This is increasing my water output by 10%, depending on my evolution level for this ant. So right now it's just, not even a level yet. It's a 0 level ant, and I'm getting that 10% boost. Now some of these stat boosts are, you're going to get training capacity boost, commander experience boost, resource output increases, maximum army scale increases, building and speed up increases, the free, air quote, free building time, that's going to increase, the army HP, defense, and attack boosts, the resource collecting speeds, resources required for training, stamina cost reduction, healing pool, healing speed increases, research speed increases. These are all different types of passive skills that your civil ants are going to have, and you can get some great boosts from these ants. Those, the higher the level they are, if they're maxed out, you're going to get great boosts for that. They could be a great boost to players without them even knowing it. Some of the biggest boosts that I see players going for first are the marching size increase and the boost for army stats and stamina reduction for running rallies on predator nests. Now, there are different events that you can kind of like reset some of your ants in, and that will help you be able to gain stamina faster. I believe that one's the Lumia, I think, if I remember off the top of my head. I think that one, if you reset that one on stamina days, you'll be able to recoup stamina regeneration a lot faster. And then when that reset hits, you re-upgrade that ant, and you'll be at a lower cost of stamina to what you were building, if that makes sense, throughout the day. Now, if I wanted to reset an ant, and this will work on civil or war, you can hit this button right here, and it will reset the ant like you never got it, and you will get all of the materials back you used for getting that ant. Now, you can do that, if you have aid slots that are available and you want to level up another ant. Let's say you just got a divine ant and you're like, man, I have no fruit to evolve it, I have no honeydew to upgrade it, I have this ant, but it's a level 1 and it's not doing me any good. Well, you can reset your ants, re-evolve them up to the level that they were, because that's only going to use their ant shard pieces, and it's not going to use the honeydew or the tea fruit. So that is a useful tool, and then you can throw that ant in aid, and I say throw, kind of whimsically. So here we go. Here's what you have on aid. So when you go into your specialty ants and you go over here to aid, the first thing you're going to need to know is that it is going to use your top 5 strongest ants, and it is going to bring a ant that you're going to put in aid, which would be right here. It's going to take your lowest ant, so for instance mine is 70. It's going to take whatever that current level is. So if you just reset that ant, it would be a level 1. For instance, mine's a level 37, and it is going to upgrade that to a level 70. So you'll get the combat power increase, and if the ant is strong enough up here, let's say these were all 131s or higher, I would get also the equivalent passive skill boost as well. Now, this is a great way to get those experience boosts and passive skill boosts going through the game if you're running low on honeydew and you're trying to maximize your efficiency for your marches and for farming and for doing everything that you need to do. So now that we've kind of covered a little bit about the war ants and the different specialties that they can be, and the civil ants and what they're actually going to some of the stat boosts that they give you. Well, the other thing that we're going to need to talk about is how to get these specialty ants. One of the things is, as a new player, I'm a queen level 14 right now, just about to hit 15. So as a new player, down here in the bottom left, you're going to get the specialized ant goal, and this is basically a tutorial, and it's going to show you how to get every single ant in this selection. Here are the requirements when you click on the ant to get that specific ant, and you can get all of these. So once you get these ants, again, it's going to unlock them for you under the special ants tab, and you'll click on them. And once you click on the ants, you're going to want to hit backstory. And what hitting the backstory is going to be able to do for you is there'll be a diamond basically picture up here in the top right, and what that's going to do is you're going to be able to click on that, and that will give you the corresponding amount of diamonds for going into that backstory on the ant. So that's the first way that you're going to be getting ants. Now, as a new player, there is an event, and that event is called the Ant Kingdom. Now, as one of the rewards, as it says right up here, you're going to get Amber Stinger. Once you get, through all these different things. So on your day one, you're going to have all these different levels for doing things. So your total login for every consecutive day, you're going to get rewards. Your queen upgrades, you're going to get rewards. And for your foster specialized ants, you'll get rewards. And that's going to be on day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, going all the way through. And each one is going to have different tabs that you need to do different tasks on. At the end of that time frame, you are going to get the Amber Stinger. So that is also another way that you are going to get ants. Now, there are players that run on a regular basis, tripping over my words here, and you're going to be able to select that right up in here. Now, on some days, there are going to be ace events. So these are going to run for quite a few days, so from the 14th until the 20th. As you can see, one of the rewards is you're going to be able to get 10 shards to unlock the Longhorn. You can get a certain amount of shards, as well as there is the rock ant that you're going to be able to get depending on the reward level that you're able to reach during that event. And that's like a lot of the events in the game. They're going to have rewards, and some of those rewards are going to be specialty ant pieces. Now, I'm not going to go and show you how to get every single ant in the game. If you want to know how to get that ant, or if there's a specific ant you want to look at, go down there to your special ant tab, go to your not obtained, and if, let's say, you wanted the giant ant and you don't have it yet, go ahead and click on it and hit to obtain, and that's going to show you all the ways to get that ant. So this one is only available from an event, and it's going to be improved CP events available every 2 weeks for 7 consecutive days starting from Monday. So when that event comes around, that is going to be the only time that you're going to be able to get that ant, and then you're going to have to wait and then participate in that event again to possibly get more. Now, of course, there is another way that you can get ants, and that is when you go into the shop and you click on the specialty ant tab, and of course you can get whatever selection of ants they have up here. This time it's the meat ant, the fire ant, the lumia ant, and the Atta leafcutter ant. So you can also buy them as well. And one of the ways that you're also going to do this is in the hatchery. You can actually go in here and you'll be able to see your chances for getting various ants as well. So for example, we'll go ahead and hit our free for today. We get breakout fruit. If we just do a 9 round, there we go. I got some of these blue or rare ant shards, and if you do enough of them, sometimes you might get a you'll get an epic, or you might even get a mythic. So those are other ways that you can get ants as well. Now, if you've completely leveled up one of your rare ants and maybe even your epic ants, you can actually go in here and point exchange those pieces, which I'll show you how to do, and you can actually get these ants as well. So if you've maxed out, let's say your green ant shard, and your green ant is completely maxed out and you don't have a use for any of these pieces anymore, you can actually cash them in, and then you could go to the next ant on your list and get pieces for that. Now, the way that you're going to want to do that is go to your specialty ants, go to your bag, go to it's just going to auto bring you right here to the specialized ant shards, and you'll scroll down. And like I said, if all of your rare ants are leveled up, you would recycle all of these pieces. So all of these, and you'd get the corresponding points that goes along with it. And the same with your epic. And then eventually, if once you get to that level, if let's say your jumper is completely maxed out on its, you know, level, you could recycle all of your jumper shards too, to get that whatever other ant that you're needing, whatever other mythic ant in that list, whatever other shard that you're needing. And likewise, if you have a whole bunch of T2 breakout fruit and you need more T1, you can recycle these and do that as well. I think I've never done that before. I don't understand why you would. You just keep running, you know, predators and things like that to get more. So that is your specialty ants, kind of in a nutshell. Like I said, when you deploy them, you're going to get that army boost. So the higher your ant, the higher the army boost. The higher the ant, the greater the combat power. Now we're going to switch accounts real quick, and we're going to go look at my other account, and we're going to start talking about legacies. So hang tight with me for just 1 sec while we go and switch accounts. Alright guys, now we're on another account of mine, and now we're going to go and talk about legacies. So again, under the specialized and tab, we can go down here and go to bag, and we can go to legacy storage, and this is going to show you all the legacies that you have. Now like I said, once you hit Queen level 20 and Evolution Cave level 20 is when you're going to be able to unlock legacies, and I will show you that here in just a quick second of how you're going to produce them, the cycle of which the game goes through, and you are able to produce legacies and resin to get those. So first things first, let's just go ahead and talk about the different legacies. There are different level of legacies. So as right here, this is a common soldier legacy. You're going to be creating these, you know, all the time. And biggest thing is any legacy on an ant is better than no legacy on an ant. And it doesn't hurt, as when you're starting out, to just level these up. That is completely fine. Now other players may tell you not to. It is okay to do. One of the main reasons why it's okay to do is because, let's say I've leveled up a we'll use this a rare harvester legacy. That's a level 3. If I had this up to a level 3, just a common soldier, and then I got, you know, that harvester and it was a level 1, I could use that other legacy and level this one up, and then it would be a level 3 as well. Now as you can tell, some of the main differences between these are going to be your combat power. So as a common soldier legacy has a 30,000. When you get into your fine soldier, you're getting 50,000, and so on and so forth. When you go in here, it goes up to 120, and then when you get up here to your you know, your epic soldier, it can go up to 390,000 and plus, just depending on the level that you have it increased to. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing is all of the ants are going to have these two things right here. You're going to have your army, defense, and HP boosts. This will increase depending on how strong that ant is, or how strong that legacy is. And this will also go up as well. So you hit upgrade, and you can upgrade it with other pieces that you have available. This will show you everything that we have available that you could use to upgrade a legacy. And these red dots are going to show you on your legacies which ones are able to be upgraded at that point in time with the legacies you have. So we go all the way up here. You're not going to see too many of these that are going to be upgraded or be able to be upgraded with the legacies I have, because I don't have enough legacy material to upgrade an ant right now, except for this one. Now I'm not going to upgrade this one right now because there's no point for me to do this, because my epic jumper special ant already has a different epic jumper legacy attached to it that I have already leveled up, which will be this one right here. This one I've already evolved, and leveled up, so I don't need to level up that other one right now. So these are the different types of legacies that you can get. You can also get the red legacies as well, and we can go into what they do. So as you can see, some of these are just your basic soldier, and some of them are special legacies for the special ants. And when you select one, sorry, I need to take a quick drink here. This is a longhorn legacy. Now, on whatever specialty ant legacy that it is going to have different stats down here, just depending on what the legacy is. So down here, if your specialty ant, or your special ant, is a 0-star, you're only going to get this first right here, this first row. Once your special ant is a 2-star, you're going to get this, and once your special ant is a 4-star, that's when you're going to unlock all of these and equipped on that specific ant to activate these. So again, if we go out here to my specialized ants, you're going to see that this rock ant right here has that T4 epic jumper legacy on it, and it does not have any of these because it's not on the jumper ant. The reason why I did this is because it's giving me the biggest combat power increase for the ant right now until I get something else that's going to be equivalent to this combat power to be able to upgrade. Now once you get that, your jumper ant and that legacy or whatever special ant and legacy, and you do equip them, you're going to be able to see that upgrading and evolving your legacies along with the ant, you're going to get really good boost from. Now I've upgraded this a few times. We started out at 1% and now we're up at 11%. We started at 1, now we're at 10. And again, because it is activated on that special ant, we getting all of these boosts as well. Now again, that is queen level 20 that you're getting these. Now as you play throughout the game, I would recommend not picking a specialty to go into until you hit at least, I would say, queen level. I mean, you could go 22 to 26. 22, of course, is when you're going to get your T8 troops. 26 is when you're going to get your T9 troops. Level 20 is when you're going to get your legacies to be able to unlock onto your specialty ants. Now, by the time you are a level 20, you should have a good amount of your ants unlocked. You've played enough events, you've gone through the game enough, through the tutorial, so you'll have a good chunk of your special ants. So that's really when you're going to be able to see how many shards of these ants that you're going to be able to get, and maybe where your focus is. Now there's nothing wrong with saying, as a new player, I want to be a ranged or haste or a melee player. There's nothing wrong with that. My suggestion would be just to kind of level everything up a little evenly all the way up until you hit that level 20 to 22 area, and then pick a focus. At that point, with your cells and your genes and your gear, you're going to be able to unequip and use that material to upgrade your other gear that you want to maybe specialize in. It's far easier to do at a lower level player as it is at a high level player. It's a lot easier to do that, and that's when you're going to be able to say, okay, my Amber Stinger, I have so many shards of this, but it is a ranged ant, and I want to be a haste player, but all my haste special ants are really low. Well, at that lower of a level, I'd say level 30 and below, or maybe even level 26 and below, that's when you're going to be able to play with your gear, switch it around, use it as upgrade material, and it's going to be a lot more cost effective to kind of experiment at that level than if you hit Q30 and you're gung-ho on being a haste player, but none of your special ants are haste. they're not high enough to be, with all of your skills, and maybe they're not even evolved enough to get all of the skills as well. So that's why I would just kind of level everything up a little bit evenly up until that level, and then focus in on something specific. So we've talked about the different types of specialty ants and the legacies. Now let's go over here to your evolution cave, and let's actually take a look at your ways that you're going to produce them. Now the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need resin. Your resin production runs on a 6-hour rotation. Now that leaves you 4 times a day to just naturally collect the resin. Now there aren't a whole lot of players out there that are setting scheduled alarms to be able to wake up and hit that button for the resin and then go back to sleep and be good to go. So realistically, you're looking at maybe 3 times a day that you're going to hit that resin production. Now every resin production is going to give you a different amount of resin that you're going to produce. The amount of resin that is required to make one specialty ant, or one legacy, just whatever legacy, is 100 resin. So if on your first run of producing resin gives you 53, and then you wait 6 hours and you collect it again, and that gives you 56, now you've created 109 resin, and you're able to then go ahead and start producing one legacy. Now these are going to range in their rareness. It could be the green, the blue, the purple, or the gold. It could be either one of those. It's all RNG. And if you want to see your chances at getting whatever, you just click the little information icon, and it'll show you what you can get. You can get mythics. It does happen. Just watch your global. It'll actually give you a chat box down at the bottom, say such and so player created whatever mythic legacy or epic legacy or whatever. So except for your soldiers, I believe if you get a specialty ant legacy, it will. I believe if you just get a regular, it doesn't. These run, so for producing them, you're going to be running on a 12-hour schedule. So realistically, you're going to only be able to do 1, maybe 2 a day. Now you can speed these up down here in the shop. So when we're talking about leveling up your legacies, and you use some of those other legacies as material, you are going to get these resin shards basically. And now once you have a certain number of resin shards, I'm really low right now, but you're going to be able to get different things. So you could get these instant makes that are 5 apiece, the legacy evolvers for evolving your legacies, and various other things like that, ranging all the way up to your mythics if you are able to collect or save this many shattered resin pieces. Now these insta makes that you get are going to be able to be used right here. Now I've already used one for today, and I've created a legacy already, and if I wanted to speed it up again, I have the option of spending diamonds or using the speed ups. Now I recommend holding off on doing any of that until this specific day that has the event on it for legacies. There is an actual event that has legacy production on it. That's when you're going to get the most reward for creating legacies. Now there are 2 types of legacies that you can create. The common, which is going to give you anything from a specialty and legacy all the way to just your common soldier legacy. There's also the exclusive. So once you've done 50 runs of creating a legacy and you hit 50, you're going to hit a button and it's going to give you an exclusive, just a random exclusive, and you're going to hit that, and it's going to cost you 100, and then you're going to hit make. And as you can see, you can scroll through, see what types of ones that it might give you. You'll hit the information. Again, this will show you the chance that you're going to get. Okay, but under the exclusively tab, you're just going to be focusing in right here. Okay. That is also another way that you are going to create just special ant legacies. Over here, you're going to get the common soldier. You could get, you know, 5, who knows, 5 blue ants in a row. Who knows? It is RNG based. So again, that is your legacies kind of in a nutshell. Now you have this legacy storage. Again, like I said, when you go into your specialized ant tab, and you'll be able to see that same list in there as well. And you can see which ones, all the ones that you have. Now the ones that you have equipped have this little guy right here attached to them. That means these are equipped to ants. The ones that don't have that are not equipped, and the ones with red dots are able to be upgraded with the remaining legacies that you have not equipped yet. Now you could unequip all of your legacies and just completely reset everything and start over from scratch and have a whole bunch of shards. I don't recommend that, because once you get to a certain point and you start getting a lot of the epics and a lot of the rare for special ants, that's when you're going to get a lot of combat power and stat boost as well. Now the legacy transfer tab is, you just go ahead and read through this, and this will kind of show you how to work on this. Now I haven't really done this that much, but if it's something that interests you, by all means go ahead and, you know, select the legacy that you want to transfer. If you have any other questions, again, reach out to your alliance, ask them, hey, I have a question about the special, you know, this special ant or this legacy, and how do I get it, or what do I have to do? You can shoot me a message in game on any of my nests, the main one being Player Swarm, or you can hit up one of the Kels, Keltan. You can hit one of those up as well. And then, you know, also in the Discord, you can hit up, if you're on Discord, you can hit up the ant group in there. It'll also have guides in there as well, some of which I've written, some of which other players have written, all of which are good-ish. Some of mine aren't, but we'll go into that later. And so yeah, so now up to this point, you should have a good understanding of everything in this list and what you need to do that. Like I said, at that queen level 25, that's when you're gonna get those totems, and that's when you're gonna be able to kind of pick and choose a little bit more, maybe of what specific, you know, specialty you want to go into. So again, my recommendation is just level everything up a little evenly, all the way up until that, you know, Q25, you know, Q26 area. You know, you'll have some special ants, they'll be leveled up and evolved. You'll have some legacies that you'll be able to equip on them and everything like that. One thing about when you equip a legacy on an ant, that ant level has to be 211 in order to have a legacy on it. Now once you have that legacy on there, that's when you're going to get those boosts, and then depending if it's a special legacy for that ant, you'll also get those substat boosts as well. I hope I've answered all of your questions about special ants and legacies. If you have any other questions, feel free to, you know, reach out, hit us up, you know, come over to K20, you know, join us, join one of the alliances here. We have a lot of fun and have a great time playing. We'll see you guys in the next video.